There is one entity that has existed throughout all of life, all of history, one entity, and it has gone by different names. It has gone by the name ego, egregor, God. This entity is the distortion of collective consciousness. It is the watchful, parasitic decay that enters your brain, gaslights you, manipulates you into believing that this is the hill that you should die on. And it's not even a full death, it's a decay. It is where you're convinced you're living and you're standing for something. And look at all of these other people standing for the same thing. So it must be correct, it must be good and right, righteous, and it is justified because others are doing it. There is one entity that has existed throughout all of fucking time. Ego, egregor, God. It is this concept that we are always serving others. And really what you are serving is this energy that has been fed relentlessly with shame, with the distortion, with the lie, with the insecurities, with the arrogance, which is just another word for insecurity. It is fed with all of that. It is the church. It is the belief in light being your greatest savior. It is believing all of the propaganda that is fed relentlessly into that. Be the martyr, be the savior, be the sacrifice, be the one that stands for this thing, which just translates into you sitting behind a fucking phone, being a keyboard warrior, sharing posts of rallies and riots, yet never being the one that would be willing to lay your life where your fucking mouth is, to give your fucking life for a fucking cause. It is this entity that demands you do nothing and believe that you are doing everything. And then you sit in the rot of this collective consciousness. And anyone that stands on the fringe outside of this collective consciousness, guess what? They're a narcissist. Guess what? There's something wrong with them. Their issues run so deep because they're not for me and what I believe in. Yet you haven't unpacked what you fucking believe in. You haven't been willing to unpack it so much that you have given your life for it. And you have chosen to stand and expand in it, with it, for it. You haven't defined anything. It is the hall of mirrors. This entity that steals from the fringe, this truth, this radiance, this potency, this intensity, and takes it back into its fucking lair and gives it to all the collective peons that then think they created it, think that it's theirs, but they distort it. They can't grapple with it because they can't own it, because they don't own themselves, because they're owned by this entity called collective consciousness. There is no individual. It is just a mass of graves. It is a graveyard of original thought. This is the place where they steal from the fringe, the innovators, the shadow walkers, the thinkers, the feelers, the poets, the dreamers, the believers, those that are not afraid of a revolution because they create a revolution inside themselves all of the time. They walk as that fucking revolution. They're not afraid to walk in front of and tear down the snake nest pit of decay that has been laid before all of us. They're not afraid to go their own way. They go into that, they steal it, they catch a glimpse of it, and they want it, they desire it, simply to twist it into convincing themselves that done something with it, into convincing themselves while scapegoating the fringe, pointing fingers. How dare you walk alone? How dare you be fearless and relentless in your drive? Look at us. We're all standing for something. We're standing for the people in the streets. There's always a place of judgment, a moralistic self-righteousness that is disgusting and cowardly, that the collective decayed consciousness hides behind. Oh, we're all connected. This is mine. No, it's not, because you didn't carve it out of your fucking heart and serve it to yourself on a fucking platter and listen as your bones cracked and fucking shattered and you rebuilt those too. You didn't earn it. You don't get it. There is one entity that has walked throughout all of history. It is ego, it is God, it is the egregor that the collective consciousness feeds on and it feeds it. It is a puppeteer, and you are the motherfucking puppet, seeking the fucking light like a moth to a flame to get zapped over and over and over again. It's fake, it's propaganda. It denies every part of you that is self-governed. It demands that you lay that to the fucking ground and leave it there as trash. It demands and commands that you view that part of yourself as fucking trash, and that you should feel ashamed. You should feel bad about that, because you should stand something that is for the people. And to stand for something that is for the people, you have to not be an individual. That is the decay of a collective fucking consciousness, and casts judgment and throws stones at those on the fringe who actually stand for humanity, who actually stand with a purpose, on fucking purpose, because they self-interrogate, they annihilate and blast themselves. They are connected to a through line of poetry and revolution, that through line of Gnosticism that is carried through, the protectors, the defenders of truth. There is one fucking entity, and it lives on your fucking back, and it has its tentacles in your fucking brain, and you are the puppet to it as it guides you to the next fucking collective theme that you're supposed to be dysregulated about. And to harness that dysregulation, remove all the pleasure from your fucking life. Don't eat sugar, because that's what fucking causes the dysregulation. Don't drink coffee because it gives you fucking anxiety. Don't create art because that's not enough, or the art that you want to fucking create isn't pretty enough. It's not aesthetically pleasing enough. It's too confrontational. It's too conflicting. Deny the conflict in yourself as you fucking brain rot in the fucking constant migraine that you fucking have. Be swallowed up by the pain that you fucking exist in, and convince yourself that it's because humanity is being destroyed, yet your decay from the collective conscious entity is adding to that fucking decay. Your refusal to unmask yourself, your refusal to not be a fucking monster, to not really understand what that means. Instead, you want to latch on to the AI phrase of being a sovereign person, being a divine being. You want to be a God being. God is another fucking word for the entity latched onto your back, that is riding on your curtails of autonomy, that is dragging you down away from your individual self, that self-possessed self. Instead, you become obsessed with this collective world where everyone is apparently enraged about how things are going down, yet you don't make the change in your own fucking life to dispel, to battle the entity that's on your fucking back. You still use language that satisfies God. You still utilize ways of being that ingest purity into your fucking veins. You have the guilty pleasures. You set up the order of your life to build the walls further. You don't crumble and fall and tumble into the underworld and become the owner of that. You say that you do, but you don't. You say that you do, but you fucking don't. You share memes in your Instagram story and call that living and call that purpose. You are being directed, brainwashed by the fucking only goddamn entity that has ever existed in the fucking history, the story of the fucking world. You go to therapy and you sit with the fucking rapist and you rape yourself and you call it fucking healing. It's not living. It's not doing anything. You're building a fucking dictionary, this encyclopedia of yourself that you sit on the fucking shelves and you pull out. Hang on 1 second. Let me get the pathology for that. Let me get that word and that label that will give you an understanding as to why I fucking can't and how I've convinced myself that I am. The collective consciousness, the collective fucking consciousness that could be and is for the fringe this beautiful through line of philosophy and poetry, art, music, that punk rock fuck you to the entity of decay of collective consciousness. The fringe where it says, no, this is mine. This is mine, and you don't get to steal it. You can be inspired, and we can create a bonfire of creative fucking revolution together, side by side, even holding hands, but you're not gonna fucking live in me. You're not gonna live in me and then judge me and call it your own and desire the skin and bones that I have melted for. You're not going to get to possess me as much as you think that you're special. You don't land in that special until you suck yourself out, you extract yourself out of that distorted collective consciousness, and you understand what your thoughts are, what your feelings are. Not based on anyone else, not based on your encyclopedia of bullshit, not utilizing the fucking DSM-5 to serve your whim and then call it motherfucking whimsy. Your pathology is not whimsical. Living in the decay of collective consciousness is living in a perpetual state of not fully dying and not fully living. It's afraid, it's fearful, it's terrified. It's constantly seeking peace and safety, and how dare the world show its violence when you aren't even willing to reconcile the monster within you, when you're not even willing to be violent with yourself. You want to cower in the fetal position to all the horrific things in the world. Stand and fucking stare at it. Go into the fucking streets if you're so fucking torn up about it. Lay your life on the line for it. What are you willing to give for life? Are you willing to die for it? No, you're only willing to decay as the moth-eaten moldy pages in your encyclopedia of fucking pathology. You want to be a perpetual victim. Listen to the pain I have in my body. This is why, it's all the trauma. But here's my astrology meme that tells how terrifying of a fucking Scorpio, Aries, Aquarius, fucking Leo that I am. I don't give a fuck. The fringe doesn't give a fuck. Are you the fucking god of war? Or are you the god that lives as the entity, the rhetoric of light? There's one motherfucking entity that has always walked this fucking world. It is the Egregor. It is the ego. It is the God. It is the monitoring spirit that latches onto your fucking back and digs and drills its tentacles into your brain, feeding you what it wants you to spew into your fucking life. And you bend over like a bitch to it and cry like a baby because of it until you have interrogated yourself so much and you have broken your own bones in the process of removing this fucking entity, this beast of depression, this monster of fucking ego tar that weighs you down while keeping you propped up with pain until you have killed it. You are walking as the puppet to the entity called collective consciousness. And that, my friend, is not living. It's fucking decay. And from that place, you stand for fucking nothing.